notes from last time. We're just going over the next 2 pages. So remember we talked about rational expressions as 2 polynomials on top of each other. So numerator and denominator have variables. So our homework was simplifying them. And that's what we talked about last class. Today we're talking about multiplying and dividing. Do you guys have that space in between yours?
Yeah.
Oh, fix that.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we're multiplying, same rules apply. You're going to factor, if possible, top and bottom, and you can cancel factors from the top and the bottom. So they can either be right on top of each other, like on simplifying, or diagonal. So the top of the first, the bottom of the second can still cancel. And then at the end, you want to multiply everything that's remaining, multiply the top together, multiply the bottom together. And then again, after you've done that, you also want to recheck it and see if there's anything you missed. Okay, because sometimes it gets kind of messy. So if you cancel everything out, then multiply it, kind of regroup them, you might see something else. Okay? So let's just try a couple. So if we look at this first one, how can we factor x squared plus x minus 12? What do we do? Answer question? Right? Remember, the one thing you always, you cannot, you can't cancel out like that. Anytime you've got plus or minus, you have to factor. So multiplies to negative 12, adds to 1, would be what? Positive 4, negative 3. And then x squared minus 9 is difference of squares, right?
Oh, okay, so it would be x
Plus 3 minus 3.
And x minus 3. 2x plus 6. How can we simplify that?
Parentheses x plus 3.
Right, GCF. So take out a 2, parentheses x plus 3. X minus 5, can we do anything with? No. So it might be helpful on these to at least put it in parentheses, because if it has that plus or minus, it means it cannot be broken up. It can only be canceled out by another x minus 5. Okay? So now it's kind of a free-for-all. We can look at anything on the top, cancel it out with anything on the bottom. So we have x plus 4. We don't have any x plus 4s. We have an x minus 3 on top.
and then x plus 3.
It cancels out. We have an x plus 3 over here, which again, anywhere on top cancels out with anywhere on the bottom. And then that looks to be about it, right?
Wait, so same with like on the right side too. I don't want to talk about any of them the same can cause that.
Yeah, so like this, cancels out with this. So anywhere, top or bottom.
But the 2 would still be there.
The 2 will still be there. Polly, do you have a question?
So it doesn't matter like which side of the multiplication sign. Like
Right. It's just anywhere on the top and cancels out with anything on the bottom. Okay? And now we see what's left. So up on the numerator, we have x plus 4 and 2. So we can write it like this. On the bottom, we have an x minus 5. Now, can those x's cancel out? No. Right. So that is our final answer. You could distribute it if you want. You could make it 2x plus 8. But I'd really rather you keep it factored. Okay? Questions? All right. Let's try another one. Okay. So top one, 2x squared plus x minus 10. How do we factor that? AC method, right? So a times c is negative 20. But multiplies to negative 20 adds to 1. What?
Negative 5 plus 4. No, wait. 5 minus 4.
Positive 5 minus 4, right? Because we need a positive 1. So we've got 2x squared plus 5x minus 4x minus 10. Split down the middle. We can take out an x, and we get 2x plus 5. Bring down our minus. So anything we take out is a negative. Between 4 and 10, we can take out a 2. So we get x, and then the sign changes to positive, we get 2x. Negative 4 divided by negative 2 gives us positive 2x. That sign changes to positive, and we get 5. So now, our factors for this top polynomial is 2x plus 5, x minus 2. Everybody agree with that? Okay, on the bottom here, x squared minus 9x plus 14, have we factored? Any question? So what multiplies to 14 adds to negative 9. 7 and 2?
Mm-hmm.
And since that has to be positive, they both have to be negative. Okay. Now, can we do anything with 5? No. 4x squared minus 25. What can we do?
2x minus 5, 2x plus 5.
Very good. So that's the difference of squares. Everybody agree with that? So now, we just kind of start canceling. So, 2x plus 5, 2x plus 5. Okay, so that was 2x plus 5. X minus 2, x minus 2. And that's about it.
So it's like 5 over x minus 7.
So 5 over x minus
Wait, I'm
x, right, x minus 7 and 2x minus 7.
But does the 5 not have the 2x minus 5? Is that not on top? Or wait.
Would you not add those two things
by
together?
itself.
You don't add them. You can leave them like this. You could foil them together. But you really don't want to, because then if you were to foil it together, then someone can always be like, well, are you sure they don't factor? You know, so
Yeah.
it's really easy just to collect the factors. Yeah, I will count wrong, however, if you put a plus sign between them. Okay? Because everything here is just being multiplied together. Okay, so Holly, did that answer your question?
Okay. I didn't realize you just left the 5 on top of them.
Yeah. So now, what if the 5 had canceled with something? Then we would have a 1 up top. Okay, so not a 0, and you can't just ignore it and like put everything on top. So it's always a 1 if everything cancels out.
Haha, my favorite.
Okay. All right. So let's look at the next one.
So we just cancel out that stuff.
Yeah, so on this one, there are no, we're not really factoring. Every little piece of it is a factor. So it's because it's 2 times a squared times b squared. So all of these are, it's kind of a free-for-all, okay, that we can reduce them. So for instance, and on these kind, a lot of times it's easy to do some of it, then kind of regroup and then see if you have more to do, okay? For instance, we could do, we have 2 A's up top and 1 A on the bottom. So the bottom A goes away completely and we get rid of 1 on top. We have 5 B's here and 1 down there, so that 1 makes this a 4. The C's cancel completely. The Y's cancel completely. The Z's,
C squared.
right, 2 on the bottom.
The only thing I'm confused about is the numbers.
Okay, and then let's see. Okay, we can reduce those now too. Well, how can we reduce some numbers?
1 for 9 and 3 for 27.
Take out a 3 between, 9 goes into 27 3 times, right?
Yeah.
So we can take that away and make that a 3. And let's go ahead and do the 2 and 12. So,
So we can go across on our numbers too.
okay. Well, go up and down, yeah. So, okay, so actually, I know there's more to do, but let's like stop here for a second and come over here. So on the top, we're left with 3a b to the 4th.
There's more to do with it.
There's one more thing to do, I think.
How do you have 3?
3. So over here, all I have left is a 3. And over here, a b to the 4th. So much.
Oh yeah, you can still do the 3 and 6.
Now on the bottom, I have a 6 here, x squared, z squared.
Is there any way to
Alphabetical is usually what. Okay. So yeah, now we can see with our numbers left, we still have 3 over 6, right? So that cancels. So we could have done that right there, but a lot of times on these, it's really easier if you're getting too confused or if it's getting too messy, to go ahead and multiply and get out again and look for more. Okay? Questions about that? Okay. So let's try another one. So actually, you guys go ahead and try this one on your own. Okay, so factor at the top, GCF, 2 times x minus 4, factor at the bottom. Major question, what multiplies to 4 adds to 5 is 4 and 1. Multiplies to 16 adds to 8, 4 and 4. Okay, so now one thing that we talked about a little bit on homework, if you only have 1 on the top, it can only cancel with 1 on the bottom and vice versa. So even though we have 3 x plus 4s on the bottom, we only have 1 on top. So that one can only cancel with 1. Okay? Then we have an x minus 4, so that cancels with x minus 4. And that's it. Do I agree with that?
Can you leave that out for a second?
Yeah. Now I'm going to gather what we have left. And we have 2 and x plus 1 over x plus 4, x plus 4.
So you can't combine those?
Well, you can only combine them like Lily did, which is good. It's like, you can write it like this.
Word.
Yeah.
Just want nicer.
Yeah.
I'm
good.
prettier.
I'm good either way.
I'm gonna do prettier.
Are you okay, Olivia? What'd you do?
I canceled out like everything.
Oh, yeah, 1 for 1 on the x plus 4s. Carly?
Would it be wrong if like on the bottom, like there's gonna be 4 like before twice and throw it out?
No, that's fine too. Yep. Just know that this also means that. Like, if you ever see this as your answer, you know, it means the same thing. Yeah, Christy? Yeah. Well, you want some practice?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to give you all practice right now. Okay? What's that? Oh, we're doing division. Oh, here a second.
What you doing with that?
Okay, so I just want you to write down.
It's funny. You put it on the back of them.
On. Okay, 2x squared.
She wrote her plans on the back of a note that a student gave her
From a retreat. Okay,
See,
so
that's why I think that's yours too, because it looks like your handwriting.
it's a form. Purposely chose that. Okay,
Yeah, I still have mine up.
so try this. So write this down and try
Is
it.
that mine?
Okay, so let's factor these.
No, it's not.
So 5x squared, we can't do anything with right now. X squared minus 3x plus 2 is x minus 2, x minus 1. X squared minus 4 is x minus 2, x plus 2. 5x plus 10.
5, x plus 10.
X plus 2. Okay. So now, again, anything on the top with anything on the bottom. So, Hannah? X minus 2 cancels. X plus 2, x plus 2. Right, yes, you can't, the 5 doesn't go with it right now. It's just the x plus 2. But now, think about 5x squared. That is really 5 times x squared, right? So in this case, the 5's cancel.
Miss
The
I might be the
result-
same. Can't you still cancel them later though?
Yeah, you could. You could collect them all.
That's what I did. That's what I did.
Yeah, so actually we could have 5x squared and then x minus 1 and 5. And they cancel here. Yeah, you got kind of spicy there. X squared over x minus 1. Okay? The main point of that was that since this 5 is not part of the factor family, it's not x plus 5 or x minus 5, etc., it's just a 5. So if you have another just a 5, you could cancel. No. You don't have to, but I recommend putting everything in just to know that you can't, that it's not just an X hanging out there. You know, but I wouldn't take off if you did, but just make sure you protect it, kind of. Okay.
But, so, but you don't, square.
Right, yes, because that is 5 times X squared. Amy? Yes. Okay, questions about that? Okay. All right, so that is multiplying, all right? Dividing, that we're going to look at now, is really the same. It ends up to be the same. It's just first, you have to, when you're multiplying fractions, I should have done a warm-up like this. If I have 2/3 divided by 4/5, how do I solve that?
You flip the 4 thingy-ling.
Okay, you do a little thingy-ling, and then you...
Ding-a-ling?
Ding-a-ling. What can you do?
Ding-a-ling.
Right. So, would you invert the second fraction? Okay. So, 2/3, change it to multiplication.
And then 5/4.
5/4.
Calling.
And then you multiply.
Across.
Multiply across. Okay? Woo! Now.
And then
You can go by 2.
Yeah, then you can reduce. Okay. So we can take out a 2, 5/6. Okay. So same thing. And actually somebody in my calculus class said, no touchy, flippy, switchy.
Huh?
That
What?
okay, actually, it sounds kind of weird, but think about it. You don't touch this one. You flip this one and you switch that to multiplication. No touchy, flippy, switchy. Anyway. Sounds like I could get in trouble with that, but anyway. All right, so we're doing the same. Okay, so we're doing the same thing. Listen up, ladies. So we're doing the same thing on these rational expressions. So you have to be careful because I know you guys try to write as little as possible, all right? So for the first couple, though, I do want to actually rewrite this problem, change it to multiplication, and switching it, all right? Be careful when you're trying to save space that you understand what you're doing.
Well, do I have to rewrite the first one, or can I just mark out the second one and then write it below it?
Well, you can do it, but I'm saying we're going to rewrite it, okay? And you all just need to be careful. Be careful in taking the shortcuts. All right, so I'm gonna rewrite it like this for now. Again, you don't always have to, but you need to come up with a system to make sure you know that you're taking care of that. Change it to multiplication and flipping it. So this is the problem we're actually working on now. Okay, so now actually 2x squared plus x minus 10 is the same one we had up here. Okay, so rather than go through magic question, AC method, are you guys okay if we just go ahead and say 2x plus 5, x minus 2?
Yeah. I'm confused.
Okay, 2x plus 5. Well, I just want you guys gonna have to know how to do it, but okay. Now on the bottom, how did we factor x squared plus 3x minus 10? Next question. Multiplies to negative 10, adds to 3, plus 5 minus 2. Five x plus 25, what do we do?
You need to chill out, Chris. Hold on.
5 parentheses x plus 5.
Thank you. Lily, be careful. Okay. 6x squared plus 15x. What can we take out?
X.
X and x and 3.
3.
And we're left with x plus 5. Oh,
Wait.
Yeah, we're gonna
What
do
did I do that?
oh, 2. Good job.
We're like, wait a minute.
You're on it. Okay. All right, so 2x plus 5, 2x plus 5, x minus 2, x minus 2, x plus 5, x plus 5. Anything else? So final answer is 5 over 3.
I hate
Okay, so kind of fun. You're gonna do that?
it. Glass.
I like that sign.
Yeah. This is kind of fun where you can just start
Yeah.
crossing stuff
Your
out.
definition of fun.
Yeah, I didn't remember this. Okay, let's try the next one.
Oh my god, what is that?
I know, not that one just yet. Don't look ahead. Don't look ahead, you'll be scared. Okay.
Don't look ahead.
All right, so again, I'm gonna rewrite this one. You don't have to, but if you come up with a system shortcut, just be careful. So we got 2x to the 5th over x squared minus 2x times 4 minus x squared over 6 x to the 3rd.
Touching, making.
So don't touch the first one, flip the second one, and switch the middle.
Yeah, but why did you like skip eggs like that? That's
I don't know,
beautiful.
I didn't make it up. Okay, so nothing on the top, right? 2x to the 5th stays. X squared minus 2x, what can we do? Take out an x, and we're left with x minus 2. Now, 4 minus x squared.
2 minus x, and then 2
2
plus
minus,
x.
2 minus x, 2 plus x. Okay? And then nothing with x, 6x to the 3rd, right? Okay, now, what are we going to do about the 2 minus x and the x minus 2? Because they won't cancel. So,
Well, isn't it like 2 times x to the 5th, and then it's like 6 times x to the 3rd, so you can reduce the 2 minus
yeah, we're going to get to that. But, Olivia, what can we do to make x minus 2 equal 2 minus x?
Wait, x minus 2 equal to 2.
Can we cancel out x minus 2 with 2 minus x?
No,
No, we can't do this one. Right, we take it out, we take out a negative 1, right? So these two, x minus 2 and x plus 2, I mean x, 2 minus x and x minus 2 are not the same, right? They're complete opposites. So, in order to cancel out, we have to take out a negative 1. We have to change that to negative 1 times x minus 2. Now they can cancel, but we have to keep that negative 1 part of the answer. And now, Lily, you were talking about, yes. So 2 goes into 6 how many times? 3. And x to the 5th and x to the 3rd.
Yeah, so can't the x's just cancel go with it?
These 3
Yeah, and then
cancel out
x
with 2. Yep. So now, if we collect what we have left, we have x squared.
Negative x squared.
We have a negative 1. And we have a 2 plus x. Yep. And on the bottom, we have a x and a 3. So are we done yet? No. Kelly, what do you think you can do? We can't do anything with 2 plus x, right?
Yeah.
What about this x squared,
We can take out an x.
this x squared, and this x? Yeah. So we've got a negative and 1x left up top, and 2 plus x,
3 on the bottom.
and a 3 up top. Okay, questions like that? Alright. Everybody get it? Now, this next one looks very intimidating. Okay? But, well, it's not super simple, but it's not too bad. If you read it, it is just 2x plus 14, 2x plus 14,
Oh, so you just rewrite it?
hang on. Well, yeah, you just rewrite it as a division problem. It's 2x plus 14 over 9 divided by x squared minus 49 over 18. Okay? So first you just look at it as a division problem, and then treat it as such, so you have to turn it into multiplication.
Can we just like flip it when we put it side by side?
You can, just be aware, yeah.
So, for division, you just.
Right, because dividing fractions is always just, when you have two fractions, this is what I showed when you were gone. Like 1/2 times, or divided by 3/5 is actually 1/2 times 5/30.
Okay.
And then you multiply top, multiply bottom. Okay? Alright, so now we change it to multiplication. So, excuse me, what can we do with 2x plus 14?
2x, or 2 parentheses x plus 7.
Right, they got a 2. Nothing with the 9, nothing with the 18. What about x squared minus 4?
X squared, so x plus 7, x minus 7.
Right.
Nothing with the 9.
No, I'm not saying we just can't
Oh.
simplify. Hang on. So we just don't have to do anything with it just now. So now we can x plus 7, 9 and 18, right? 9 is an 18 twice. Can we cancel out these 2's?
Can you multiply them?
Multiply. So what do we get?
4.
There you go. Hey George, I think you have it. Okay? Okay, so write this down and go ahead and work that out. Okay, so first, you all keep working, I'm just going to talk for our sophomores. So you want to switch it to multiplication, flip the second, and now factor. Okay, so that should be a 12. So yeah,
Oh
x
my
squared
goodness.
plus x minus 12, and then minus 12. So we get x plus 4, x plus 1. Over here we get x plus 4, x minus 3. I'll give you a heads up on that one. And then 2x squared minus 6x, what did that turn into?
2x, x minus 3.
Right, x plus 3.
I was wondering why nothing canceled out. I was like looking at it.
Yeah. Now sometimes they won't, but for these I'm trying to make them. So x squared minus 1 is,
X plus 1, x
right, because x squared is a square and 1 is a square, right? So now x plus 4's cancel out, x minus 3's cancel out, x plus 1's cancel out.
X plus 1.
Mhm.
Oh, could you explain that one again? The one where it was.
Which one?
Oh, random squares. Okay.
Yeah, x squared minus 1 is equal to square.
I forgot about that.
So now can these x's cancel out? Okay.
I said,
Okay, I've lost control, I have no idea. Okay, all right, let's try one more. Then I'll let you all.
Oh.
Okay, let's try this one.
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
I'm like good coffee.
Okay, so try that one. Okay. Well, this is your day to look at, okay? That's the only thing it's gonna get, okay?
There you go.
Okay. All right, so this was the equation I gave you now. So change it to multiplication, flip it. When I rewrote this, I went ahead, really anytime you see that 2 minus x, I knew I was gonna immediately switch, so I went ahead and rewrote it as negative x minus 2, okay? And then if we factor x squared plus 2x plus 1, multiplies to 1, adds to 2, is x plus 1, x plus 1. X squared minus 1 is going to be what? X, we actually already did that in the first problem, right? X minus 1, x plus 1. multiplies to negative 10, adds to 3.
That's 5, -2, 5.
So now our x minus 2, x minus 2, x plus 1, x plus 1. And that's it, right? So those x, the minus 1 and the plus 1 don't cancel. So we get negative x minus 1 over x plus 1, x plus 5.
Could you distribute the negatives into the x plus one?
Good question. No. Well, you can, but if you distribute it, you get this, which is still not this because of that negative x. So, yeah. Okay? Questions on any of that?